Oh my God, did we need that? That was the typical game of two halves here at Old Trafford. 2-1 to United, last minute header from Slabhead himself, former ex-Leicester player Harry Maguire. Former captain taking the ball off our current captain. Credit to United for battling it out in the second half there. That was a hard watch for the majority of that game. I don't think any Man United fan is looking for any performance level at all from this Man United team at the moment. The first half was diabolical. The start of the second half wasn't much better. For the last 30 minutes, so we actually showed a bit of grit and a bit of determination, and we ended up scraping through against an absolutely piss poor Leicester side. I don't care. I'm not expecting much. We're not expecting this team to all of a sudden start playing brilliant football. We just need to take encouragement. We just need to take them little signs and them little bits of play that can help us go forward. And until Manchester United went forward at the back, believe it or not, we started playing Garnacho on the wing after he came on off the bench. He was ineffective early doors when he came on, but then when he went wide, we reverted back to a back four. Manchester United started playing football. We were dangerous. Garnacho was active. He was causing problems. Decision making lacking again, and certain parts of his game is definitely missing, and probably why he isn't that complete player. But he had an impact, and that's what we needed. We need a little bit of something different. Someone who's just going to take a player on and do something, and it did unsettle Leicester because they were comfortable. They were really comfortable in that game, and it looked like it was a cakewalk. There were boos at half-time ringing out everywhere across Old Trafford. It was just a graveyard. It was horrible to be in, and there was just nothing there. The crowd just needed lifting with something, and little bits and little moments just gathered a little bit of momentum in that second half. Brilliant from Joshua Zirkzee when he came on. He changed the game, and it did look at times like United were in a 4-4-2, straight 4-4-2, with Joshua Zirkzee close to Rasmus Højlund, and that caused Leicester all sorts of problems, because them two being close together were fighting together instead of it just being Rasmus Højlund on his own. It was Joshua Zirkzee backing him up. They were picking up the second balls a little bit more, and it looked like we had a little bit more bite. It looked like we had a bit more strength up front, and that's what unsettled Leicester. Then giving space to Ahmad and Garnacho on the wings, and we started to get in behind. Like I said, decision making, the amount of crosses that were pulled back to the edge of the box instead of going across just the 6-yard box to give us something different. A little ricochet or something would have changed it. Look, all of that being said, it was progressive in the second half, but in the end it was down to, unlike Ruben Amorim tactics, really. From what I seen, you may have seen it different. There was moments there where we went back 3 with a 2, then a 1, then a 4 up top, like chalk on the boots of Ahmad and Garnacho, and that just spread the play. We had options. Bruno came into the game then because he could start firing passes to the wingers, and when they were being occupied, he had a bit more space with Joshua Zirkzee in the middle. Agate played a massive role in that second half. He was industrious, he was clever, his touch, his aggressiveness really drove Manchester United forward in that second half. Massive credit to him. I thought he was the driving force behind the whole Manchester United performance. The only player alongside Dorgu who actually did all right in that game. Mazraoui being back on the right hand side definitely helped him in the second half. In the back 3, I didn't think he was bad, but when we went to a back 4, he looked a lot more comfortable on the right hand side there of a 4. And Maguire looked comfortable in a 2. Again, Lenioro looked better in the second half in a 2 as well, but again, it just seemed to be all because of desperate measures. Again, Manchester United just not able to cope with that system that Ruben Amorim wants to play. And we looked completely lost. We had Leicester fans taking the mick. How shit must you be? We're winning away. Again, we heard that against Leicester. Sorry, we heard that against Southampton last time. But this time, again, last few minutes of the game, we found our way and we scraped by a really, really poor side. And that's what I have to get across there. It was poor. There's better opposition to come. There's more teams that are going to cause United a threat for the amount of possession that we just needlessly gave away, as we always do when we're in possession. I think just really tonight, more than anything, it's not ruined the weekend. Manchester United move forward into the 5th round draw this weekend now, and we can look at the positives that were there at the back end of the game rather than the negatives, which there were plenty of in that first half. I think it just about outweighed it in the end because we were creating chances and we were getting behind Leicester finally. It just looked like we had our better players actually starting to create things, and that was Bruno. For me, again, everything that was industrious, everything that was clever, or just that little slide, little quick free kick, or little things that people don't pick up on that Bruno doing, he doesn't get a lot of credit for. Ultimately, you're looking at that there as the difference there. The experienced players dragged us over the line. The ones that really are, the ones that the other younger players are looking up to there, they're the ones that stood up for me. The Gartes and Bruno's in the middle, and then the man at the end. Like I said, former Leicester player himself, Harry Maguire, former captain, comes up trumps with a bullet header when we needed him. No time to play out. Thank God we're not stood here watching extra time football. Sorry, thank God we're not sat in there watching extra time football, because that would have just ruined the Friday night completely. But the crowd are upbeat, everyone's walking out of Old Trafford quite happy, and United, and thankfully for Ruben Amorim, he's got the week now off preparing for that Spurs game, because again, I don't know if he is going to revert back to going into that back four, which helped this team, whether he's going to have to sacrifice his own system just to try and get results, because results mounting up in the negative is just not going to help him at all. It didn't look like the players were willing to give that extra little bit. It's just not there in his system at all, and I don't want him to change it. I really don't. I want him to stick to his guns. I've said this all along, but like he said himself, there is changing in his system, and there are times when we do go two up top. There are times it's 4 at the back, 4-4-2. I said it there a minute ago. There were times when United went 4-2-4 and a 3-2-1-4. It was good because we had so many options there. Ruben's got a lot to think about. Ruben's got an awful lot in terms of his front line he needs to think about, because Rasmus Højlund and Joshua Zirkzee together are a different ball game. They are a threat. Together, they are the one player that Manchester United need as a front man for Ruben Amorim. And how he balances his team around it, I don't know. But them two together is how you have to go forward. As on their own, they don't work. Together, they are different. They are a handful. I said it, they pick up the seconds, they back each other up strength-wise, and Zirkzee's got he's got that touch, that unknown. That's the element that he's got in his game, and for me, I think that's why he has to start. He causes defensive problems because they can't really judge what he's going to do or where he's going to be. He drifts out wide, well, he links up well with Ahmad. His overall play is actually quite good. His overall play when he's got the ball and how he uses it is really good, different to what Rasmus Højlund is. Take the pressure off Rasmus Højlund and play Joshua Zirkzee alongside him. Sacrifice one of the other players. Kobbie Mainoo was a lost soul tonight. He cannot start that next game. Again there, the 10 role just didn't suit him in that system there against a low-lying defensive block which Leicester put out there. There's a different role for him in there, but I think confidence was shot tonight for Mainoo, and Ruben did the right thing in bringing him off. I think Zirkzee replaces him. United may have to go with the two up top if they want to compete and start creating chances, because them two, I said it a minute, they are key. It was only Leicester, yes, other defences will suss us out, but we have to go with what we've got. And to be honest, there isn't many other options there, is there? Let me know what you think, everybody. Drop your comments in below. Who was your man of the match there today? Again, for me, I'm pushing to Manuel Ugarte and Bruno Fernandes in the end. They're the players that stood out. Credit to Joshua Zirkzee when he came on, and to Garnacho, who changed it attackingly for Manchester United. But we're in the 5th round, and that's all that bleeding matters. God, it could have been a totally different night, but we move on. Let me know what you think. Give the video a like, subscribe to Forever United TV, and let me know what you thought of that game.